Back here on CBS Sports HQ Spotlight, Caitlin Clark and the Fever won for the fourth time in their last 6 games Sunday. It was on CBS. Clark, one of her best games in the WNBA, 7 for 11 from the field, game high 23 points, game high 9 assists, really starting to build a connection with last year's Rookie of the Year, Aaliyah Boston. She had her third straight double-double in this game, and the Fever won against the Chicago Sky 91-83, but that was just a footnote in most of the stories that you've read about this game and in most of the conversations that you're going to hear today because, well, Angel Reese was called for a flagrant foul when she hit Clark on the side of the head trying to block her shot. It was reviewed. It was called a flagrant 1. Seemed like the right call. Didn't seem malicious. But it led some people to call for a suspension of Reese. That's one extreme. And on the other side, well, Reese didn't agree with the call in the first place.
It's a basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game, obviously, a lot tonight. So, I mean, I'm always going for the ball, but y'all going to play that clip, 20 times before Monday? I think we went up really strong a lot of times, and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back at looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle, but just being able to play hard as best as we can. I'm still proud of Camilla going on, still getting a double-double. And that's something y'all not going to be able to stop regardless of the referees. Like, we're here for a while. We're not going to be denied, no matter what you guys can try to do. But our goal is to win, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win and continue to do that.
They have not been doing that of late, though. The Sky now 4-9. They've lost 4 in a row, and they've dropped to second to last in our WNBA Power Rankings at CBSSports.com. The Fever, on the other hand, up from 11 to 8. And as of right now, the Fever would be in the playoffs. The Sky would not. Let's bring in WNBA analyst Terrika Foster-Brasby, who joined HQ right after that game, spoke about the foul, spoke about the comments. And many of us, I feel like, are on the same page. It wasn't malicious. It was the right call. Move on. So we'll do that right here. Let's talk about the basketball and the Fever winning 4 out of 6. How have they been able to turn the corner after being the second to worst team in the league for much of this season?
Well, I think the thing that has been working for them most is that we are starting to finally see this gel, so to speak, between Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Alyssa Smith. I think a lot of us were expecting that was going to be the key, running the basketball through the post, trying to, run your offense through Aaliyah Boston was going to be what could elevate this team from last season to this season. Well, we're starting to see it now over the last couple of games. Aaliyah Boston has been dominant in the paint, couple of double-doubles, and the facilitation and assists from Caitlin Clark has played right into that. I've always said it. I think that was probably the most underrated part of her game, and we're getting a chance to see that now because she's such a dangerous threat from the perimeter. She gives the Fever an opportunity to spread the floor, and her entry passes inside to Aaliyah and Alyssa have just been incredible. On top of that, you're starting to see Kelsey Mitchell catch fire as well. So the team looks like they're finally being able to put it together.
And just so happens to coincide with some rest, which is what this team did not get the first couple weeks of the season. It was a bad week for the Sky. It included a loss to the Mystics, who entered the week without a win, and now they're no longer in last place in our power rankings. In fact, they're up 3 spots to number 9. How did they turn things around and go 2-0 this week?
Yeah, well, I like to give a lot of credit to Aaliyah Edwards. We talk about 2024 rookie class. She's a name we're not hearing enough of. I love the way that she's really been able to step up. This team has been battling some injuries very early on. They didn't have Shakira Austin for a good part of that. They just lost Brittany Sykes again. So Aaliyah Edwards was asked to be in a position where she had to step up really quickly, and boy, did she live up to that. Had a couple 20-point games. She does really well with learning how to finish at the rim. I think that her development has been key, along with some great play from Ariel Atkins. Those are the kinds of things that this Mystic teams really needed to show. They needed to prove to themselves that they are much better than their record indicates, and they're starting to put together a couple of runs that allows them to do that. Eric Tebow, told me that Aaliyah Edwards is someone who really is a sponge. She comes in, she listens, she observes, and then once she's got it, she's got it. So I love seeing that from her, and I think that's one of the reasons that the Mystics are now headed on the right path.
You're seeing them playing against the Phoenix Mercury here in these highlights. We're about a month to the Olympic break. Some were questioning why Brittany Griner would be on the team because she hadn't really played all season, but she has hit the ground running. She's back, and she's got the Mercury rolling offensively. They're up to number 5, Terrika.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would question Brittany Griner because, listen, we understand that she didn't have the start to the season that she wanted. She missed about 10 games due to a toe injury. But since she's been back, she's been dominating, averaging 25.7 points, 9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and shooting 64% from the field. Nate Tibbetts is a guy who has really run this three-point shooting offensive scheme down the throats of the new look Mercury, and they're buying into that. What Brittany Griner does is make it so difficult for teams to double her inside because now you have to account for all these shooters that you're leaving open on the wing. So this is really working out in their benefit. I think that now that they have Brittany Griner back in their roster, this just leaves an opportunity for them to be even more dangerous than they already were.
And they're ahead of the defending champion Aces in our power rankings. Vegas falls to 6th. Asia Wilson, very emotional after their latest loss, but still the favorites to win the title right now if you were looking to bet on this thing in Vegas. Do you agree that they should still be the favorites?
Well, I mean, I guess it's difficult to say that they aren't the favorites, but I definitely believe that the Connecticut Sun are the best team in basketball right now. Now, the New York Liberty are playing the best basketball on an 8-game win streak, but it's definitely hard to discount the Las Vegas Aces as a team that you know can be right in the thick of things. The little miscues that they've had over that losing streak, they will figure it out, and they were playing without Chelsea Gray, who is now coming back and reacclimating herself to the lineup. Let us not forget that in 2021, the Chicago Sky went into the postseason a 500 team and won the whole thing. So records don't mean much in June. This Las Vegas Aces team will figure it out. They're a veteran group, and I have no doubt that they'll be in it at the end.
And Chelsea Gray should be coming back very soon as well. Terrika Foster-Brasby with us, breaking down the WNBA and our brand new power rankings at CBSSports.com. As we look at the odds to win this whole thing, it is the Aces, plus 160, followed closely by the Liberty, number 1 in our power rankings at plus 190, and then a bit of a drop and maybe some value there on a team that Terrika says is the best in the league right now, and that's the Connecticut Sun. You can get them at 7-1.